What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul
and Chris. Give me the latest on Big Brother 18, episode 10.
That's right, guys. This is Reality Room Podcast, episode 25, quarter of the way to 100. Not too shabby.
Not bad.
Before we get started, let me just remind you guys that we have our own chat on the BB Live. On the BB Live feeds, called Reality Room Podcast. If you want to join, just either look for us or PM us your name, and we'll add you to the chat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get started with the episode.
All right, so the episode ends off with the cliffhanger of the roadkill competition. We're on day 24.
That's
day
right.
24. We're getting there. Bronte thinks it's Paulie that won the roadkill.
Spoiler, it's not.
Spoiler, Bronte, you couldn't be far from the truth. Bronte is now Frank's plan B. This is all about Frank. Yeah. All about Frank.
Yeah, I guess Frank is. I guess they know Frank's probably gonna go home soon. They're probably like, "Oh, let's get him as much airtime as we can."
Yeah,
this
right.
episode.
Producers, okay, we know.
America's favorite season 14. America's most hated this season.
Yeah. Okay. So Bridget is upset that Bronte's on the block because she's one of the spy girls and she's also one of the girls. Bridget says that she's gonna use the veto on Bronte. Foreshadowing. We'll tell you later.
Foreshadowing. We'll tell you later.
Frank talks game to Paul finally. And Paul mimics Frank's in the diary room, saying like, "Oh yeah, like I'm 100% safe, Frank. Thanks a lot,
Frank. I don't trust you. I don't trust anything you say.
I don't trust anybody in this house.
The only way I'm 100% safe is if I win the veto."
Exactly.
Well, he doesn't, but we'll get to that.
So Bronte's crying in the diary room. I might go home. And then
she did that last episode too. At the end of the episode, she's just like, "It's hard when the whole house is against me." But honestly, though, you gotta feel for her because she knows that it's basically her and her clique versus everyone else. So you gotta give her some respect for at least giving it a go. Yeah. But with the roadkill, it benefits, as we said last episode, benefits the big alliances.
Yeah,
all right.
Unfortunately. Bronte tells the spy girls that she's a mathematician and she works for NSA.
No one cares.
Hashtag super nerd.
No one gives a fuck. Come on.
I mean, is it really that big of a deal that you know how to do math? Like,
and you shouldn't be proud to work for the NSA. Not a lot of people like the NSA. A lot of people want it abolished. And she doesn't work for the NSA. She's studying to work for the NSA.
Whatever.
At least I think. What do you think about her little special
I mean, why tell them? Why not go and tell Tiffany and Zakiya, who are actually, teachers, and,
Yeah.
I mean, Tiffany's a math teacher, and Zakiya is a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
So why not tell them?
A little bonding moment, perhaps.
Maybe.
From student to teacher.
Yeah.
I can do calculus. All right, calm down, Bronte.
Frank tells Bronte everyone wants Tiff out. Okay. Natalie wants Bronte safe, obviously. James talks today about Frank pulling in the spy girls.
This from what I've seen, the spy girls don't seem to really want to work with Frank, other than Bridget.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. James.
Okay.
Yeah. So James is gonna warn Natalie that Frank is the roadkill winner. They're on their little phone call, and Natalie thinks that it's Paulie and Z. And she finds out that it's Frank that won the roadkill competition because James told her.
Yeah, James actually did a really interesting job when he did that. He was just like, okay, who do you think won the roadkill?
Yeah.
She's like, Paulie or Michelle. And he's like, okay, it's neither of those two. Now who do you think? Frank. I didn't say nothing. I just thought that was really funny. His name didn't leave my mouth.
So Natalie says she's nervous with Frank. Not surprised. He's not to be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget is scared of James. Bridget's scared of James, and because James doesn't really talk game to Bridget that much.
It's not surprising because she has like Frank and Natalie has James, yeah. So, and Bronte doesn't really have anyone. So she's like the odd one. Bronte's the odd one out, but Bridget obviously doesn't trust James, even though Natalie does. And Natalie doesn't trust Frank.
Mm-hmm. So veto competition, before the veto competition, we have to figure out who the players are. So Bridget, Tiffany, Paul, and Bronte. Obviously, they're the four people that are going to be playing into it. Bridget ends up picking Paulie, and Bronte chooses Natalie.
Yeah, so Bronte's name is picked out, and Frank told her previously to choose her for the veto, and I guess she decided to go with her best friend Natalie instead.
Because Natalie wins it, pulls Bronte off the block, then Frank gets more blood.
That's right, and honestly, that's what we were.
That's
all
what they've been
hoping.
saying on the episode too. So
yeah, on the episode and on Twitter, that's what everyone wanted to happen to see what Frank would do for Frank to play his cards. He'd probably put Day up, honestly.
Yeah. So Day's hosting the competition. Not bad.
Yeah, she did good, girl. I love that. She's great.
Veto, I love her too. Veto competition, Outback Steakhouse. Is this the second time? They did it last year.
Yeah, I feel like
They did it last year, right? Correct.
They do the sponsor.
Won it?
I think they did a sponsor in Baby 16, and I think they did it 17 as well. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a common theme that we've seen in Big Brother. Outback steak dinner.
Yeah. So the competition is called Veto-licious. I don't know why it's called Veto-licious if, like, I understand the prize is, like, they get to go to Outback Steakhouse, but I don't understand why the veto competition is called Veto-licious when it has nothing to do with eating food.
Yeah, that's...
It has more memory.
Yeah,
Memory...
Well, it's about, like, cooking, I think, and doing some concoctions.
Maybe.
That's, like, the spin they did this season. Yeah. I don't know.
So let's talk about each round. So they have to remember which order everything is in while looking on the screen. So the first round, Natalie and Bronte, they get out. So that plan goes to shit.
That's right, guys. So the Spy Girls, who are comp beast, and by comp beast I mean comp failures, other than Bridget.
Minus Bridget.
Is she even a Spy Girl anymore? She's so with Frank. I don't even know, guys. So Bronte and Natalie, they get out first, and Bronte's like, I'm a mathematician. I hope I can count.
Yeah, right?
I'm just like...
And then it gets even more funny at round 2. With Paulie, it just like an edit that cuts to it. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to make the same mistake my brother Cody.
I was dying. So they did the edits really well this time.
Yeah, I like the edit this time. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I mean, usually they kind of screw around with the edits. Yeah. But this time, keep it up, big brother.
So Tiffany is talking in the DR. She's like, my sister won last season, and she did a really good job.
What? I mean, I think Tiffany needs to also realize that she's not her sister as well.
Yeah. Well, the whole house needs to know
The whole house needs to, including her.
She sucks at comps, no offense.
Yeah, I mean, in Sequester, she was like a comp beast.
Oh, yeah.
She won every competition,
5
basically.
LLCs.
yeah. But this season of Big Brother...
Why? What's going on, Tiff?
What's going on, Tiff?
Where's Brendan when you need him? Sorry.
Where's Jimmy when you need him? All right, I'm sorry, guys.
We're cutting off to the sequester. Okay, go back to the episode. So round 4 is between Paul and Bridget. Again, like the HOH competition.
That's right, and I'm really surprised on how well they're both doing. Like, these newbies in competitions. I mean, Paul's won a veto already. Paul got second place in the last 2 competitions. Mm-hmm. And Bridget, winning a lot of comps lately, huh?
All right.
Good for the newbie. And the winner ends up being Chris.
Bridget won the veto. We talked about this last episode. Bridget wins the veto. And she kind of like does like a...
Kind of like the jump thing.
With Frank. And then she hurts her ankle.
And guess what?
Not for Bridget.
She's on crutches for a day or 2. Ah! That's exactly what I expect from my Alliance member, to put me on crutches.
Oh my god. All right, anyways.
Frank's a handicap both physically and mentally in the game for Bridget.
Yeah, so moving forward to the episode, Frankie was mentioned moving fast. So Natalie says she doesn't mind going up on the block because I think people wouldn't vote her out. Yeah, if it's between Bronte and Natalie would get more votes to stay.
She doesn't want Bronte to be up because it's so much pressure to do it a few weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. And she would rather take the fall if that's an option, which, honestly, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Bronte asks James who the roadkill winner is. And obviously James is being very vague with Bronte because, James doesn't trust Bronte.
Yep.
Obviously. And then we have this whole Outback Steakhouse reward thing. Kind of four gets to go because Bridget's team won. And they get to choose the team to go to. And they choose Big Sister because it's Z's birthday.
And I think because they've been on Slop so much.
Yeah.
But also because I want to make sure... Oh, fuck. I'm doing
Nicole.
I'm doing Nicole's voice. See, I'm getting them all confused. But Bridget says that I want to take Day, so Day and Frank can mend their kind of wompy relationship.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
After that whole, don't grab my ass, and she cried and shit, but,
Yeah, so they have an Australian dinner party, blah, blah, blah.
They showed the commercial for it.
And Nicole's jealous. Natalie wants Bridget to know that Frank's a manipulator.
No. What? Come on! What?
Now, this part of the episode, I didn't see this on the live feeds, but Frank tells Bridget that he won the roadkill competition.
Yeah, I actually did hear about this. I saw it on Twitter, and I was pretty surprised. And not only
does he tell Bridget that he won roadkill and put Bronte up this week, he also tells Bridget that he won roadkill the first week and put up Bridget.
Yeah, and that's a big surprise. So Frank is really trying to build trust between himself and Bridget. And I put on a good comparison to Chris before, and he agreed with me that, remember Dan Giesling and Danielle back in BB14, like the amount of trust and manipulation that Dan did.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Frank's trying to do with Bridget this season.
Pulling a Dan Giesling.
Because Dan didn't win a lot of competitions, or at least a lot of known competitions.
Yeah.
But Frank can win comps and shit. But Bridget's winning a lot of stuff, and Frank's taking
Frank's
advantage
gonna
of
go
that.
sooner than later. Well, we all know that. Frank's not winning this.
Well, with the stuff with Nicole, like I said in my BB spoiler video, link in the description, things aren't looking so positive.
So, I mean, let's just go right into the veto meeting. Bridget won the veto. She decides not to use it. She asks everyone, why should I use the veto? And Paul has this whole friendship thing. He's still going on about that.
Friendship.
If you don't use it on me, it's not friendship. And that's not good.
Hashtag friendship.
Tiffany said that she would respect any decision that Bridget has to make. And Bronte says that she will be supportive. And she decides not to use the veto. I think she should have used it to save Bronte. And then Natalie would go on the block, because James is not going to vote on Natalie.
Yeah, that's true. So I think that Bronte had the bigger chance out of the two of them to leave. Yeah. But, I don't know. It's Bridget's decision, and I respect that. But I think it's just a little wompy.
I'm not even sure, honestly.
I'm not even sure, honestly, either.
So I guess we'll go right into live feed spoilers and predictions.
That's right, guys. So I don't know if you guys want to watch my latest video down below. I talk a lot more about this, but basically yesterday we had this little flipperoo going around in the house with Day, James, and Michelle trying to save our girl Tiffany. However, as the day progressed, like they tried to sway Nicole and Zakia, and it looks like they did for a little while. Yeah. But then they went blop, 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 onto their men, and Polly shot Zakia down right away. And Nicole, after they all had like a group conversation outside. Did you see that?
I saw that. Yes.
What do you think about that?
I like that conversation because everyone has different opinions, and this is not going to just be like a bias. Like, Tiffany all the way. Tiffany's got to go. I feel this is like a sequester thing. I know no one knows what that is, but this is exactly what happened in Sequester 2.0 when Lindsay threw out Tiffany's name and then it flipped. Yeah. This is like a Lindsay versus, literally Lindsay is like a Bronte.
Yeah.
Lindsay's like a Bronte.
Oh yeah, that's a good. That's a pretty good.
Paul's like a me kind of.
I guess.
So I like the trio thing going on here. That's between those three. I think it's pretty cathartic. But anyways, the conversation they were talking outside was about, do we keep Tiffany? Do we get rid of Tiffany? And Paulie was pretty much saying that Tiffany should go because of Vanessa Russo's sister, making the comparison that this is the same shit that she pulled last year, crying and saying, she sucked the comps in the beginning, she's hiding all this stuff, and she's going to manipulate everyone to get far.
Although between the two of us, I haven't seen her do that much crying. Just me.
I think they just want her out just for the fact that she's Vanessa Russo's sister.
Yeah, which is kind of.
And then they're going to do the same thing with Paulie, and they're going to be like, oh, well, Paulie.
Well, Cody got second place, and Paulie's doing arguably better than Cody, so, he could win. Yeah. It's just a little, screwy stuff. And they didn't seem, when they were outside, they didn't seem to really come to a conclusion until they all went inside.
I know Michelle wants Bronte out over Tiffany.
Yeah. Michelle actually said something interesting to Nicole that Nicole was mad about her. Mad with her about. She said that Frank wants to target, seems like everyone outside except for her. Mm-hmm. And Nicole's like, oh, no, that's not true. And she kind of does her eyes, like that or whatever. And then she goes inside and she tells whatever. She's like, why wouldn't Michelle tell them that? Puts a big target on me. And Nicole seems to be edging towards Frank's side now for next week. Because Frank's not coming after her. Michelle's right. So there's no incentive for Nicole to get Frank out. And Corey.
Yeah, but there's a reason why this isn't. This is mostly not about Frank. This is more about keeping Tiffany.
Yeah, I know. But she also decides not to keep Tiffany for the same reason, because she wants to go after Day now.
There's no point in doing that, because Day has Tiffany, and I don't get how that makes sense.
She won't have Tiffany next week, apparently.
I don't know. Tomorrow, guys, is going to be probably the most cutthroat fucking eviction.
I know.
It's not. I promise you, there is not going to be another unanimous vote. Promise you that.
I have no idea.
It's not voting for Bronte, and Frank would probably vote.
I think I don't know what the votes are going to be, or if they're even going to be swayed at all.
There's 9 votes, so it takes 5 to get evicted.
Yeah.
Paulie would vote Tiffany out. Natalie would vote Tiffany out. Frank would vote Tiffany out. I think Devon would vote out Bronte, and Michelle would vote out Bronte. Zakiya might vote out Bronte too.
Right.
Because Bronte is obviously not on their side, so why would you keep someone that's not on your side over someone that is?
Because Paulie said so to Zakiya, at least. And Tiffany did say that she was going after Z and Paulie today, a few days ago.
I don't get that.
Although that hasn't been spread around the house at all.
Why?
But
I don't know why Tiffany is saying multiple targets to one person. Why not just say one person? I'm going after Frank. I'm going after Frank. I would definitely fuck over Frank.
Yeah, well, that's what she did say though to everyone else. Just day of private conversation. All right, guys. So that's basically it for updates and spoilers.
Yeah.
For live feeds. Again, if you want to see more detail, go down in the description below.
Yeah.
You have any reality room news? Probably not, right?
No, not really. Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. This has been Reality Room Podcast
With Paul and Chris. Until next time, see you guys.
Peace.
Big Brother. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Big Brother 18.